If you're planning a trip to Zion National Park, where you stay can make or break your entire trip. Because the wrong location doesn't just cost you money, it can cost you hours sitting in traffic or circling for parking at 7 a.m. I'm breaking down exactly where to stay when visiting Zion, inside the park, the campgrounds, nearby towns, and how to decide what's actually right for you. If money is not a concern, staying inside the park at Zion Lodge is hands down the easiest option. The biggest advantage here is location. You are already in the canyon. No entrance lines, no parking stress. You just walk outside, hop on the shuttle, and go. It's literally right at shuttle stop number 5 inside the park, which is also the trailhead for Emerald Pools Trail and the Grotto Trail. And beyond just location, the experience itself is really special. You've got a huge grassy lawn surrounded by canyon walls, which is one of the most relaxing spots in the park. There's an on-site restaurant, a cafe, even a little shop, so you're not constantly leaving for food. And the rooms themselves are more rustic lodge style. They're not luxury, yet very comfortable and very on theme for a national park stay. Plus, there's a shuttle stop right at the lodge, so getting around the canyon is incredibly easy. Let's talk reality though. It's expensive. We're talking a few $100s a night, especially in peak season, and it books out way in advance. So here's my take. If you want maximum convenience and you don't want to think about logistics at all, yes, it is worth it. Yet, if you're someone who's even a little budget conscious, there are other options that still give you an amazing experience when visiting Zion. Now, another way to stay inside the park is camping. And here's what you need to know. Each campground gives you a completely different experience. The most popular one is Watchman Campground. It's right by the visitor center, super convenient, and has the most amenities, including bathrooms, water, and even some electric hookups. Yet, no showers, so just mentally prepare for that situation and smell. Then there's South Campground. When it's open, it's a little more basic, yet still in a great location near the entrance and Watchman Campground. It has bathrooms, picnic tables, and fire pits, yet no electric hookups. Depending on when you're visiting, it may be closed for renovation, so definitely check availability ahead of time. Then you've got Lava Point Campground, which is basically the opposite experience and in a completely different part of the park, up Kalab Terrace Road. It's about an hour away from the main canyon, way more remote, higher elevation, so cooler temps, and way fewer crowds. The road to get there is more remote and winding. This campground is first come, first serve, no reservations online, and it's very primitive. Vault toilets, no water, no electric hookups. Yet the trade-off is fewer people, cooler temperatures, and a much quieter experience. So here's the key takeaway when you're choosing a campground. It's not just about the amenities. It's also about how close you'd like to be to the main canyon. Watchman is probably most convenient. South has a similar location, yet a simpler setup, and it's typically less in demand than Watchman, so you may be able to get those reservations when the other campground is full. And then Lava Point is quiet, remote, and great when exploring the northern wilderness areas of the park. There's no best, it just depends on what kind of trip you'd like. Watchman and South campgrounds can be booked through recreation.gov and they can fill up quickly, especially Watchman, which is open year round. Literally, the busy weekends can book up within minutes of reservations opening. Just FYI. If you're planning a trip to Zion and a little overwhelmed, I created a Zion planner to help simplify everything for you and help you not forget anything important. You can get it on my website at www.greatescapepodcast.com. Okay, if you're not staying inside the park, where I would recommend every single time is Springdale. First, it's literally right outside the entrance to Zion. You can walk to restaurants, you can walk or shuttle into the park. Yes, there's a free town shuttle that runs through Springdale and drops you off right at the park entrance, so you don't even need a car. That's such a win during peak season since the visitor center parking lot can fill by 9 a.m. And once you're inside the park, you just transfer to the Zion shuttle that takes you through the canyon. I actually have a full episode breaking down the Zion shuttle system because it can be confusing. So if you want more details on that, definitely check it out next. Now, yes, Springdale is a little more expensive than the other nearby towns. Some popular places to stay here include spots like Desert Pearl Inn, Cable Mountain Lodge, and Cliff Rose. Yet there are tons of great options depending on your budget. In my opinion, it's the best balance between convenience, experience, and overall trip enjoyment. You've got easy access to grocery stores, gear shops, coffee spots, basically everything you might need before or after a long day in the park. The scenery doesn't hurt either. You're still surrounded by those iconic Zion cliffs. And after a long day of hiking, it's a quick walk to dinner instead of getting back in your car, which is honestly a huge quality of life upgrade on a major trip. If you're looking to save money or just need more flexibility, staying outside Springdale can still be a really solid option. Towns like Hurricane are about 25 to 30 minutes away from the park. That's where I stayed when I visited a few summers ago, Willow Wind RV Park in Hurricane, and I drove into Zion both full days I was there. I thought it worked out great. Now, the first afternoon when I arrived, I parked at the visitor center, left my RV there, and took my dog Molly on the Peruse Trail, which is such a fun way to ease into the park. And then the other 2 full days, I got a rental car, left Molly in the RV in the AC at the campground, and then went and had my full day by myself. You just get to plan your mornings a little more intentionally to avoid parking headaches after driving to Springdale or into the park. Now, there's a couple of things to keep in mind if you stay further out. You will need a car and you will need to be a little strategic about parking. Yet the trade-off, lower prices, more availability, and more flexibility, especially if you're booking last minute or traveling with pets. Staying further out is a great option. It all just depends on your priorities for the trip. There's one lodging strategy that a lot of people overlook, and that's staying on the east side of Zion. This can be a really smart move if you're planning to visit both Zion and Bryce Canyon National Parks. Instead of constantly backtracking, you're positioning yourself between both parks. There's some great hotels and Airbnbs out there, and it can make your overall itinerary way more efficient. So if you're doing a multi-park trip, this is definitely something to consider. Okay, if you're feeling overwhelmed here, the simplest way to decide where to stay when visiting Zion is this. If you're looking for the easiest, most convenient experience and budget isn't a concern, Zion Lodge. If you want the best overall balance, stay in Springdale. If you want to save money and need some flexibility when booking a little more last minute, stay in Hurricane or a nearby town like Virgin or St. George. And if you want something more unique or strategic, look at the east side between Zion and Bryce Canyon Parks. No matter where you stay, Zion Lodging books out early. Zion Lodge can book up to 6 to 12 months out. This is especially true spring through fall, so I recommend booking at least a few months in advance if you can. And if you're planning your Zion trip, I also have an episode on the biggest mistakes people make when visiting Zion, and trust me, there are a few that can really impact your trip. I'll link that for you because it pairs perfectly with this episode. Now hit subscribe so that you never miss a park adventure, and I'll see you in the next episode.